Welcome, citizen, to another Starcraft Nation broadcast. I am your host, Venerati, and in today's cast, I'm actually going to be casting a user submission ZVZ. Now, this is after, of course, I've had people ask me for ZVZ stuff, so here we are, one more addition to this before I love ZVZ action. I'm not going to say I'm not going to cast anymore, but right now, this is the focus, and then we're going to shift back to the regular everyday stuff, you know. So right now, what we have is we have AU going up against Feral, and this was submitted by Feral. He gave me some stuff, and I felt this was actually a pretty interesting matchup. We are going to be playing on Scrap Station. Scrap Station, of course, as you all know, is a very interesting map. As far as like the main circuit maps go, I'd say that Desert Oasis is probably the closest to it in the similarity. Now, of course, this is in space. Desert Oasis is in the desert planet, but it's what makes it similar, and what I'm talking about is the travel distance, the rush distance. I mean, you had this insane. Well, actually, you cut off here, go down here, you got to run all the way back up there. It's quite far, and that really does two things. If you are an aggressive player early on, you kind of have to shift it up a little bit, as your timings are going to have to be a little bit different due to the fact that your units do have to run so far. Now, if you got Zerglings or Hellion Harass, it's not so bad, but there's still quite a distance. Secondly, because you're aware of this, you feel a little bit safer. So psychologically, this map is going to be pushing a lot of players to do different things. As most Zerg players that you see, because now we are on ZVZ, so things are going to be different. What you generally see them feeling comfortable enough to take this expansion, right? You generally see a 14 hatch. Now we do see both of our players will be bringing down spawning pools before they expand, but AU will be shifting and getting a spawning pool without grabbing a Vespian Geyser. So he's looking to put extra pressure on early, as we do see him go kicking out 6 Zerglings, will be moving up here. It does actually have a drone moving up as well. Feral, of course, seeing this drone, will be moving up there to attack it. Feral grabbing the extractor, having that Geyser, throwing down a spine crawler right here for the static defense, as he will probably be expecting something going on, as his Overlord was able to see that he got a spawning pool. And I don't know if he saw that other Geyser. Excuse me, there. Yeah, he wasn't actually able to. He didn't see any sort of Geyser taking on him. So, would be expecting some sort of early pressure. We do have 4 Zerglings on the field for Feral, but these 6 Zerglings will be moving up here, trying to give this Spine Crawler time to attack, or to grow into that vicious little beast that it is. And we do actually have drones coming here, throwing their lives away, trying once again to give it time. Will Feral be able to get it? But meanwhile, we have Aeon throwing a Spine Crawler of his own in the background. So that is some dirty tactics right there. And we do have the Zerglings actually protecting it. So if this Spine Crawler is actually able to come about, it is going to be a very, very big pain in the side for Feral. Feral's going to have a hard time killing it because it's nestled in this area. And so he only has the Zerglings to kill. He could uproot his Spine Crawler right here, but that would leave the front door open to attack. So right now, I really feel that Feral should actually be moving his Spine Crawler over, trying to dig in, trying to allow it to duel with that, because we have the forces of AAU sitting here dueling, trying to protect it. We have more Zerglings entering the field. We actually have this Overlord being attacked by the Queen, but the Queen needs to go ahead and focus down on the Spine Crawler. Of course, AAU focus firing these drones, doing a good job trying to do as much economic damage as you possibly can. That Spine Crawler is able to take on quite a few drones during its little short-lived lifespan. Meanwhile, of course, this Queen, pissed off about what happened, will be killing this Overlord. So AU putting on some pretty early pressure, able to do some damage. We'll take a look at the losses tab. Yes, actually, Feral did lose more than AU in that entire engagement. Not only did he lose upfront military units, but he lost a lot of drones. I think he lost about 5 or 6 drones during that entire engagement. So Feral will be a little bit weaker economic-wise. We do have AU with a +3 Harvester advantage, with +2 at this point. But AU giving himself time, attacking, making Feral kind of feel like he has to brace for another attack. He's not going to really feel safe and settled just yet. But we do actually have a scouting Zergling will be coming out here, will be looking on and trying to gain a sense of what's going on. Because right now, units-wise, we don't have anything on the field for AAU. We will have these roaches finishing up here, but AAU right now deciding to take up a little bit. We will have this Zergling coming in there. We'll totally get smacked down by that Spike Crawler. So right now, AU will be shifting into roaches. Now, roaches are going to be very difficult for Feral to handle at this point because he only has Zerglings on field. He has 1 Spine Crawler. We do see him queue up another Spine Crawler right there, but those roaches are very brutal, very robust. And if AU is able to get any number of them up there, it's going to be difficult for Feral to repel any sort of attack. So we do actually have Feral's Queen once again shooting down. We will be able to shoot down this Overlord. This Overlord got a little too ballsy, trying to look around and see what's going on. We do have a roach warren coming up here for Feral, so Feral will be able to combat the roaches with roaches of his own. We do see this Overlord going ahead being finished off right there as its guts go ahead and hit the ground and splatter. This one Spinecrawler really not feeling so happy still, as it does, it's about half health. And we see a third Spinecrawler coming in, and hearing me say that, of course, Feral went ahead and transfused it. So right now, we still have both players one-basing it. And this goes to show you how they feel about the situation. They don't feel safe. They don't feel like they can expand because they're going to have to defend it. And that's going to be difficult at this point. And of course, Feral will be choosing to get Lair. We'll be upgrading his hatchery into a Lair so he can get Lair tech. Meanwhile, AU not doing that. Will be throwing money into his economy and into an army. Let's take a look at the army tab. We do have a 10 army cap bonus right there. Actually, never mind. We actually going to see it grow just a little bit more. So right now, AU will be moving out. Now, this is where this long rush distance, basically these roaches have to walk this entire time. If Feral had anything on the Zelnaga tower, he'd be able to see this moving out, and he would be better able to react to it. But he does have a Picket Overlord right there, so he won't be completely blindsided by it. We do see him queuing up 5 more roaches, so he will have some defense going there. With the static defense, I do believe Feral actually will be able to handle that quite well and won't have to worry about being overrun. Meanwhile, AU in the background will be queuing up more roaches, but it looks like, yes, he will be grabbing this hatchery. So making sure to expand when you attack, feeling safe that you can do something right there. So we do actually have Feral engaging this one queen, kind of getting ballsy out there. AU just kind of putting under pressure, sitting out here, saying like, hey, I'm here, what are you going to do about it? Because the main advantage that Feral has right now are those static defenses. AU not liking what he's going to see will be moving back there, as AU did have, it looks like he actually could match roach for roach right there, and he did have Zerglings to augment that force. So AU moving back there will be coming back here to this, basically to those reinforcements right there. So AU will be sitting back there, will be kind of rethinking his attack, because you don't want to throw away your units in a ZVZ, because I say this like it doesn't count in every other matchup, but ZVZ, as you've seen in some of the past games I've cast, have been so close. Every single unit counts, and each of them makes a huge difference. And though the veracity of this matchup isn't the same as those Mad Frog games, it's still going to count. It's still going to make a difference. So AU doing a good job just not throwing away his units. And you never want to throw away units, especially in ZVZ. But meanwhile, Feral has been one-basing it, and he's going to the tech route, and he is going to be getting a Spire here. And right now, we just now have AU getting a Lair, and I'm not really sure if he's going to be expecting this, as he does have an Evo chain where he will be able to throw down Spore Crawlers. But I don't think that he's going to be expecting this. We have another encroaching Overlord will be going down for AU, so this will be the third one that goes down if his queen does choose to go ahead and persecute, and yes, it does. So, meanwhile, the AU been chewing on those rocks, making that rush distance that much shorter. And of course, those other queens or other roaches were moving around. So AU really will be putting on a lot of pressure right now, as Feral hasn't been putting much into his army right now. We do have a few Zerglings moving up here. We actually have one Mutalisk, so AU's going to be aware of the Mutalisk threat right here, and we do have the forces of Feral trying to make something happen. There's so many roaches coming up here for AU. I'm not sure that he will be able to repulse it. Of course, AU will not be able to kill these Mutalisks, but I don't know if these Mutalisks will be able to kill these roaches in time before Feral suffers massive economic damage here. We have a few sniping that one roach, and we have these two Spinecrawlers just desperately trying to kill these roaches. This one has 3 kills so far. It's just pinging away on these roaches. 3 kills. Will it get a 4th kill before it dies? Oh, yes, it does, but Feral's roaches will not be able to. We have one coward roach in the back. Billy does not want to get involved with this because he knows he will be killed. Meanwhile, these drones are just soaking up a lot of fire from those roaches. So now Feral is kind of at